You gotta know this lovable ape somehow. Whether you played the original arcade game Donkey Kong, or you're like me and have played almost every Donkey Kong game that's came out, you have to love this guy. This lovable ape that only wears a tie. He is just funny, and he has great games. Every time I play like Super Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart, I tend to pick Donkey Kong, less than Super Smash Bros. And even Mario Party, which I'm really excited that Donkey Kong is coming back for the new Mario Party game that comes out this Friday. I'm definitely going to be playing as him a lot. But Donkey Kong has some of the best games in all of Nintendo and gaming history. So today, to commemorate my favorite lovable ape, I'm going to be counting down my top 5 favorite Donkey Kong games. Before we start, I want to give a quick honorable mention to Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. This game is a fun platformer that takes advantage of the bongo controller used for Donkey Konga, and it's just a cool game in general. I mean, it's not really particularly one of my favorites, but I like it for the concept of using the bongos to control Donkey Kong, so that's why I'm giving it an honorable mention. Number 5. Coming in at number 5 is Donkey Kong Land for the Game Boy. See, here's how I imagine it. Rare one day walked from Nintendo and goes, "We've had huge success with Donkey Kong Country, let's bring it portably." And Nintendo's like, "How are you going to do that? This game has one of the best graphics ever on the Super Nintendo, and you're just going to bring it to the Game Boy?" But Rare, being the ballsy motherfuckers they are, brought this game and changed it up a bit. Donkey Kong Land is not just the original Donkey Kong Country, it is its own game, and they brought it portably to the Game Boy. I love this game because it's the same fun Donkey Kong Country formula we know, but handheld on the Game Boy, the monochrome block, the Game Boy. This game is just innovative for its time and a very fun game, let alone that. That's why Donkey Kong Land gets my number 5 pick. Number 4. You might have expected the original arcade Donkey Kong to show up on this list, but that's why I'm putting Donkey Kong for the Game Boy, also known as Donkey Kong 94. Here's how I like to picture this game. Say every time your mom goes to the grocery store, she would bring you back strawberries. And one day she goes, "Oh, I brought you home a special treat." And it's just strawberries again. You eat the first 4 strawberries and you're like, "Oh, this is lame." But then you find she also bought that fruit dip that is absolutely amazing. And Donkey Kong 94 starts off with the first 4 arcade Donkey Kong levels, but then adds over 100 new levels. That's why this game is so much more superior to the original Donkey Kong, and that's why it's my number 4 favorite Donkey Kong game. Number 3. You know what? It takes balls to take over someone else's game series. And when Rareware got bought out by Microsoft and Nintendo wanted to make another Donkey Kong game, they went to Retro Studios, who made Donkey Kong Country Returns, Returns 3D, and Tropical Freeze. I put all 3 of these in the number 3 spot just because it was the return of Donkey Kong, literally. We got another great Donkey Kong platformer for the Wii, the 3DS, and the Wii U. And I guess if I had to pick a favorite, I'd probably go with Tropical Freeze. I do personally like that one the best. But just for the sense of Donkey Kong actually coming back and with Returns, and him coming back to a handheld for Returns 3D, and just the masterpiece that was Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, I'm putting all 3 of these at my number 3 spot. Number 2. Coming in at number 2 is the original Donkey Kong Country. This game is absolutely outstanding. Look at the graphics, and this came out on a 16-bit console. Yes, 3D models on a 16-bit console. This game also had some of the best gameplay for any 2D platformers to ever come out. It was hard, but not the kind of hard that makes you want to throw your controller at a wall, beat it with a hammer, and light it on fire with a flamethrower. It's the hard that is fair. You want to keep playing the game so you can progress through the game and eventually beat it and say you conquered Donkey Kong Country. This game is what brought Rare to the Rare we knew. The Rare that was amazing. The Rare that brought us some of the best games of all time. And their big break started with Battletoads. And then Donkey Kong Country. And that's why Donkey Kong Country for the amazing, marvelous piece of work it is, gets the number 2 spot. Number 1. DK, Donkey Kong, the leader of the group. You know him well. He's finally here to kick some tail. That's right, guys. Donkey Kong 64 takes my number 1 spot on my top 5 Donkey Kong games. This game, also produced by Rareware, is absolutely fantastic. I know a lot of people don't like this game because there's too many collectibles. The controls can be clunky at times. The camera angles can be bad. The frame rate can drop. But you know what? I personally love this game. You get to play as 5 different Kongs: Lanky, Chunky, Diddy, Tiny, and of course Donkey Kong. And well, yes, there is tons of collectibles. You don't really have to collect all of them, basically just the golden bananas, but I personally love just collecting everything in this game because I love it. It's a huge open world, so big that you need the extension pack to play this game, and Rare, being the loving company they are, shipped one out with every copy of this game. With probably the best Donkey Kong platforming in the game, in the series, 5 Kongs, great music, great visuals for the time, great level design, awesome bosses. This game is nearly perfect. It's one of my favorite video games of all time. And there's just so much to do, so much to collect. After following up Banjo-Kazooie, another great Rare game that came out at the time, this game definitely succeeded with being an amazing game and my favorite Donkey Kong game of all time. Hey guys, thanks again for checking out my video here on A Set of Games. Like I said, until I get a working computer, I'm just going to be using my phone with iMovie to make top 5s and game reviews. And yeah, I was going to start off the top 5 series with a bang and do my top 20 in 2 lists, 20 to 11, 10 to 1 Nintendo 64 games, which I still will be working on that. That was going to be my first list, but I strained my neck and I've been in pain, and today I felt good enough to make a video, and I don't know, I just want to make something easier, and I've been playing a lot of Donkey Kong, because I don't know why, he's just cool. But yeah, so thanks again for checking my video. Make sure to like, and I'll see you guys next time.